Wild would beat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-2. Former member of the Minnesota Wild, somebody who has skated in a cup with the Geis. Ryan Carter, back in the day with the New Jersey Devils, called an excellent one with Anthony LaPanta on Bally Sports North last evening. And you started it off beautifully. I mean, I don't know if it was a harbinger for hockey angels floating above us to carry us in hockey fashion to a game 6. What I mean, your wings. I mean, I'm watching you on Bally Sports North in the back of your hair, and this is from somebody who at times has been known to have wings, over my ears, but you had these wings from the back of your head, and they were flaring out, making you look like a hockey angel set for flight. And I knew from that moment on, we were going to get goaltending grace, and we got it, and good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, how great is that? I had to talk to the camera guy and say, hey, listen, we've got to get some lighting going. We got to accentuate the wings back there. And then the IFB, I've got the double ear IFB, and they've got the cord back there. Ooh. And that's like a mullet suppressor, holds it down. Yeah. So I've had to work on it, change the wiring back there just to let it be free.
Do you have a favorite?
A favorite?
Butch Cassidy, Ma Barker, Bonnie and Clyde, Cam Talbot, favorite thief?
I like Bonnie and Clyde.
I like Bonnie and Clyde, too, because you can use 2 people in the net at one time, and and that keeps the Marcia shows from ruining dreams, likewise for Mark Stone. But Cam Talbot, I mean, the word steal, or a goalie stole a game, it in my opinion, and you know more about it than me, man, I mean, it's overused. It's because last night you needed him like you needed to breathe, but there were so many other things that went into it around him. And the Russian kid scores, and Parisi, he's back in action. He scores. You get a Greenway goal. So, granted, without Talbot, you're probably screwed. But he had some thievery to him last night, didn't he?
Yeah, there's a lot of elements to last night's game as to why they won and things that they needed to get to win. I think Talbot did have a good game. Obviously, he was great, fantastic. But again, I think I have to give the Wild some credit. They were under siege all the second period and even into the third for parts of it. But we didn't see Cam Talbot have to slide across the crease and make a big save and steal a goal.
That's what I meant.
They allowed him to just play his game and stay within himself. Now, he made every save that he should have, and maybe 1 or 2 that could have gone in, right? But they did a great job defending in front of him. They kept Vegas to the outside, and Vegas had the wheels going. So Cam Talbot was sound. He's always got that mental fortitude. He knows, hey, listen, I'm here to make that next save. And that's kind of what he went for last night. They gave up the first one, but he stuck with it, and they were rewarded for that mental strength.
Mikko Nordo.
Yeah, I don't know how extensive game-to-game adjustments are, but you mentioned it, the team staying to the outside, where Tuch had been able to get those free little lanes and moments, it seemed like earlier in the series. They did the best they've done all series, I think, in just avoiding those rushes right in front of Talbot.
Yeah, they were protecting the middle of the ice, and Tuch specifically, he's kind of gotten all his chances from the neutral zone. So when he's been able to wind it up and come with speed, that's when they've been able to attack from the middle. I think they tightened things up, played inside the dots. They got caught outside the dots, pressuring at the walls at the blue, and that opened up the middle of the ice. And they let Vegas have the outside to some degree last night, and they didn't get burned by it. I mean, Tuch had a couple chances too, but he was defended. He couldn't get a shot off. He missed the net. But they just did a fantastic job showing that up. And Dean Evison said that in his presser postgame, too. I didn't have to go in and give the guys a rah-rah speech. There are some things that we did from a system standpoint some changes, some tweaks, minor tweaks we made. And I think that was one of them, making sure they took away the middle of the ice and didn't let them get wound up in the neutral zone.
Is Alex Tuch, is he due a regression to a mean? Is he way above right now who he truly is? He was terrific again last night. He just didn't score.
He was good. I tell you what, I got to give him credit. He proved me wrong. So when I was done playing, I went down to Iowa to try to come back from an injury, and he was my line mate down there. And he was all about the flash. no-look passes in the skates, and this is pro hockey. You want to hold each other accountable. Like, I don't want to have to deal with pucks in my skates all the time. Put it on my tape so I can do something with it, Then that's part of being a veteran in the American League, is talking to those guys and teaching them, like, what it's like if you're going to make it to the NHL.
Yeah.
He went into the coach's office and said I was being too hard on him, and the coach had to come out and be like, "Hey, Ryan, you got to take it easy on Alex." I said, all I told him to do was put the puck on my tape.
Yeah, that's not cool, though.
No, but I was
that's
like,
just not hockey.
I was
though.
like, if that got him, if that stung him to the point where he had to talk to the coaches, he doesn't have the mental fortitude to make it to the National Hockey League. I said, there's no way. He's never going to make it.
What a story.
Yeah. All of a sudden now, he's proven me wrong. He's figured it out. And not to mention, in Vegas, too. Huge market, tons of distraction. I mean, give him credit. He's been great.
Wait a minute, you got told on, though?
Yeah, see,
you tell.
Come on.
I couldn't believe it. The coach came out and was like, Ryan, you really have to be nice.
And I want to cast an aspersion on somebody because I don't know Alex Tuch. I don't know where he comes from. But that sounds like it came from privileged hockey family who had everything go his way all of his life, including in college. And then he gets a little stress, and instead of working through the stress himself or with his covenant, then he's going to go talk to the coach. That just doesn't seem right.
No, it's not. But again, I think that illustrates that the way that players are, brought up nowadays is different than it was back in the old days. It was, you're told to do something, you figure it out on your own, right? Like, it was tough love. Now guys need to be coddled a little bit. And that was kind of, for me, one of the eye-opening moments where it's like, man, maybe I got to approach him differently and say, hey, will you please put it on my tape? It'll make us both better.
You should have said please. That's the difference maker.
Yeah. And it was eye-opening. But, whoever had
you had been to a cup, by the way, at in the previous point of your career. So, I mean, you kind of knew.
It was the end of my career. I'd experienced it all. Been there, understood it. And
Did Ilya Kovalchuk ever tell on you?
No.
Okay.
I was probably even more floored that the coaching staff was like, hey, Ryan, you just got to take it easy, instead of telling the young guy, hey, buddy, just maybe listen to him.
Well,
right?
Who was on that Ducks team? Was Timo Solani on that Ducks team?
Oh, yeah, Solani.
Did he say please when...
First
Saku
of all,
did he call Mikko for
if you could just get one of the veterans to talk to you, you were stoked. They didn't even know you existed, right? Like, if they knew your name, you were happy. So, no, they didn't say please. I've got plenty of Chris Pronger stories. He's a good guy, not a nice guy.
Now, to what Nordo said, but on the other side of it. So, did Vegas come out and play like hockey's version of a prevent defense, kind of like a prevent game? In other words, clogging the middle so that, because getting the pretty goals, the stylish goals, the beautiful goals, the Ralston slappers to get by Fleury, that ain't happening. So therefore, did they like clog everything in the middle to make sure you ain't going to get this and you're not going to get the perimeter because HOF is too good? And then Stone scores, and then Kaprizov, I mean, it was a beautiful goal. It wasn't a grinder. That kind of broke things. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Vegas, I think it's kind of gone untalked about, but they have a really big blue line. And they're the biggest team in the NHL. On paper, statistically, they're the tallest and the heaviest team in the NHL.
Didn't know that.
They play with a lot of skill. Yeah, you wouldn't know it. So it's tough to get room in there. They've got good sticks. They block a lot of shots. Again, they were the number one shot blocking team in the NHL, right?
And we were number 2.
We were number 2, right? And it's been on display. So getting some premier ice against them is tough for a lot of reasons. You're battling just to get there physically, and then when you get there, these guys are willing to put the body on the line. So it's tough for sure. Then the system they run in the defensive zone, it's hard to get room going. But the Kaprizov one, I think they've struggled to find, and they're a rush line, and they need to go east and west inside the blue line to open things up. And if you watch that shift back, go a few seconds before the goal and watch the play Zuccarello, hey, you look like a little water bug going left and right, east and west, up and down the neutral zone. He had to do it.
But it looked like Wah or whomever against us.
Yeah, and that was probably one of the only plays where they had success in the middle of the ice, and they capitalized on it, and that's what you need. Like, the chances are few and far between, but if you execute and do it, like that changed the complexion of that game completely.
Ryan Carter in the 651 Carpet Studio talking about the Wild fending a challenge last evening and fending elimination with a 4-2 victory over the Las Vegas Golden Knights. You'll hear Game 6 on the Fan tomorrow night around 8 o'clock. Find Ryan on Twitter at Ryan_Carter22.